beautiful people. Hopefully my phone cooperates today. Yesterday I did a live, a great live, and come to find out only part of it or half of it recorded, so I just deleted the whole live. But anyway, I hope you all are doing well today. I want to take a moment to honor my son. He would have been 3 years old, 3 years old today. Um, so yes, rest in peace to our sweet little PJ. Um, yes. So our um our victory will be a spiritual um deliverance and victory. I heard a lady say, a Caucasian lady, um, she said that we have no power. She was talking about African Americans, okay? She was saying we have no power, which is not true. However, it is true in this society, on this continent, on the legal level. We have no power, but we have tons of power, just as Target. But um, she also said we are the least powerful and the weakest people she has ever seen or met. And when I hear stuff like this, it angers me a little bit, but at the same time, I'm like, okay, that is so idiotic, because if she really knew the truth, she'd be quiet. But anyway, our victory is going to be a spiritual one. And we can all see, we all know that, we don't have the legal power. The laws are set up against us. There are lots of things against us. And that's how you know that our victory is going to be a spiritual one. Um, This place, if you don't already see it or know it, is going to eat itself from the inside out. Everything that's going on around us is going to work out for our good, for our benefit. And I just want us to truly know that and understand that. This is a spiritual war, a spiritual battle, because we are spiritual people and we have been attacked spiritually. That's why our ways of doing things, our spirituality, our culture, as far as God and our gods are concerned, have been stripped from us and demonized. All right. Hi, Wilmer. Justice is, to answer your question, Wilmer, justice is when the offense actually stops and people get retribution. When there has been no retribution, no recompense, and people have not been been made whole for the wrongs done against them, there's no justice there, none whatsoever. Um, so everything that's been done and being done to us is backfiring. And that's the beautiful thing about the Most High. Sometimes we want to see vengeance, we want to see revenge, we want things to be done right then and blah, 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 blah. But sometimes if you just sit back and you just watch, your enemies will be taken care of right in front of your eyes without you having to lift a finger. And from the spiritual realm, if you're just looking at everything that's going on in the world, and you just look at the fact that all of the things that have been put out and meant to hurt a particular group of people is actually backfiring. All right, it's all backfiring. So I want you all to just remain calm, be happy, be whole, be content, continue on with life, but still stand up for yourself. But just on the spiritual level, just look at what's going on around you and just see that you're not going to have to do anything. They're going to eat themselves from the inside out. And that's exactly what's going on, okay? And hi Kamari, Jody, good day, good day. Now, if you've all watched the Transformers movies, they have a source, quote unquote, and it's called the spark. And for me, I always think of Africa, the motherland, as being the spark. It doesn't matter what anybody says. Yes, there are resources and everything on every continent. Yes. But Africa is something different. And you know that Africa is something different because every other nation has their hands in Africa's pockets. And that is for a reason. There is something special about that place, about that land, about the people. There are things there that are nowhere else on this planet. There are things there that make the rest of this planet revolve, okay? So I like to think of Africa as the spark. And it's no coincidence that right now you are starting to see more and more and more of an uprising and more and more and more of them pushing colonizing countries out of the continent and off of the continent. And that is for a reason, because like I said, all of this is spiritual. All of these things are happening all at the same time. It's not an accident or a coincidence that they're trying to tighten the rope against us, but at the same time the motherland is loosening the rope. She's cutting the rope. She's cutting the ties. There's a reason for that. All of this is playing together for our good and our benefit. And when your mother is free, when the source is free, any and everybody else is going to be free, if you catch my drift. All of the diaspora is going to have a powerful base and source, you know, that has their back, because Africa has not been able to have the diaspora's back because they themselves have been colonized. But right before our eyes, we can see that that is quickly fading. All right, what's good, Miss South? I hope you're doing okay today. So a lot of people, you know, they want us to come to the rescue of other groups. They want us to go to these marches and stuff like that. But we've already marched. Okay, we've had our time out there in the sun. And to be honest with you, we're still fighting. We are still fighting for basic rights and basic needs. So, you know, you want us to come to the rescue and go out there and fight for other people when we're still fighting for ourselves. All right. And so it's just like, it's like we're tired. We are literally tired. Okay, we still have our babies out here being maced with bear spray because they're blowing bubbles. We have our men out here being unalived by the people that are supposed to protect them for absolutely no reason. All right, you have black women dying in hospitals giving birth when we are supposed to have one of the most sophisticated healthcare systems. None of that is by accident. Okay, we are the targets and have been the targets, and it's all for spiritual reasons, but I'm not going to go there. But all that we're going through and we're seeing are spiritual pangs. They are birth pangs. Okay, us becoming more and more educated, we're developing more farms and desiring to have more farms and more land. The money movement and investments, I mean, it's going crazy right now. To see the number of black people aspiring to invest and you know, grow is beautiful. It is such a beautiful thing. You have black people relocating. For those who think the United States is the best thing ever, we're on a decline. We are on a moral decline, a financial decline, and there are more and more of us leaving this place on purpose, because they keep saying go back to where you came from. So when we start to leave and you start to feel the pain, then you'll know our value then. More and more of us are leaving modern religion and leaving some of these traditional religions because it's not serving us at all. We're returning to our healing, to roots. We're returning to our spiritual practices and cultures. And I wanted to also say that we have to remember that the Bible says that the riches of the wicked is stored up for the righteous. All right, so we might be at the bottom now, but again, that is all a mental trick, because the source and the mother already has the resources. It's just that they have been stripped and robbed of them. We are not a poor people. We're not a poor people, and we're not on the bottom. It's just that we've been brainwashed and our minds have been colonized to think so. All right, so I want to talk about numerology a little bit. So, um, in 2019, there was a spiritual shift, a turn, and I physically felt it. But when the pandemic came around, you could see it. You could see it, you could feel it, you could smell it. There was such a huge spiritual shift during that time. And if you caught it, you caught it. But 2025, and 25 means new beginnings, okay? 25 means readiness for spiritual responsibility. 25 also means a period of restoration. And I'm talking about for Black people right now. This video is mainly focusing on Black people, but it can apply to anybody. 2025 is a big deal. This year is a big deal. And all of these things are happening for a reason. All right, you have to think about timing. You have to think about the stars, the moons, all these blood moons, red moons, pink moons, grapefruit, strawberry moons, all of these things. They mean something. And okay, let me break this down a little bit. New beginnings. You can already see that. You see how things are shifting. That's our new beginning. We're in the age of Aquarius now. We just left Pisces. That all means something. To be ready for spiritual responsibilities means that you have to take off the old. We have to put off the old religion, put off the old train of thought in order to come into something new. And we're doing that. And the third one, like I was talking about, is spiritual restoration and a period of restoration. Many do not want to pay us our recompense. They do not want to give us reparations. Okay, cool. You don't want to pay. You don't want to pay now. You're going to pay later. You don't want to pay now. You're going to pay more later. So with that being said, we're going to be restored. We're going to be made whole, because again, the riches of the wicked and evil are going to be stored up for the righteous. All right. And it's going to fall, and it's going to be spread out and distributed like it should be. The recompense is going to come either voluntarily or involuntarily. Restoration. Now, with restoration, there's something also that I've been seeing lately. A lot of these countries, you know, the colonizing countries, they have been returning artifacts that have been stolen, like England, France, all these places, okay? And something that's really disgusting and bothersome to me is they're now returning bodies, like body parts. They just returned 150 beheaded Black people to their country that were sent to Germany to a university to be studied and evaluated. They're just now returning the skulls of those ancestors. They're just now returning the gold tooth of Sankara. He was a activist, a rights activist over in Africa, in Burkina Faso, I believe. They're just now returning the gold tooth that they stole. So, you know, it's just disgusting, and all of that's just showing that we're in a period of restoration. A lot of things are going to be returned. A lot of things are going to be restored. And a lot of people are going to be restituted for the wrongs done against them. All right. And I want to bring up to you all the word Sankofa. Sankofa means to go back and get it. All right. And for Black people, we think that we have to build something, or, you know, we're looking for something, but we already, I'm sorry, y'all, my phone went hot. My phone went hot. Let's see, let me read some of these comments. Mid-South, I'm indigenous man, but I also recognize that our country that we help build is under distress due to illegal immigration. I mean, illegal immigration, okay, we're a country of immigrants. I mean, yeah, only the indigenous are the indigenous, okay, if you catch my drift. A lot of these people that are saying you know, these Mexicans are illegal immigrants, they're not. They're not. California, Texas, Arizona, many more were actually a part of Mexico. Um, this land was confiscated from them. A lot of the people in Mexico are indigenous, native, um, North Americans. You know, either they got pushed down into South America, or their lands were confiscated and imaginary lines drawn, and now their country is called something else. Now part of their country is called the United States. So that's another thing. You know, I don't look at a lot of Hispanics or Mexican people as illegal immigrants. Like, again, this whole video is about a spiritual shift and a spiritual victory. These people are just returning home. They're returning home. I mean, they're not illegal. They're illegal by this new regime that has taken over their land. But nah, those are Native Americans too. You don't think so, Derek? I don't know. You don't think so to what? Mid-South. All right. My Mexican people were not calling themselves indigenous until the immigration issue arose. Yeah, because a lot of them didn't know any better. We can't define ourselves based on the past. But the past is what's going to help us in the future. You can't be productive and not know your past. Because your past has a lot to do with you and your future. If you don't know your mom and dad, you may never be able to explain why you are the way you are. You know, we have to know the past. We need to know the past. It makes a difference. It really does. Because a lot of things we won't have to repeat if we know the past. It's not a race versus race. It's the illusion and delusion. The fact is, it's powerful and rich versus common person. I disagree. There's a reason that people are oppressed and suppressed. It's because they have a power and a strength and a spiritual resilience and power about them. You don't take something from someone or hide something from someone if it's not powerful. You don't strip them of knowing who they are if they're not powerful. You must know the past to figure out the future. Exactly, Derek Witherspoon. I agree with you. A million percent. Mid-South, know the past, yes, but don't really relive it. We're not reliving it, but again, if retribution has not been made, then there's no justice, there's no victory. Words mean nothing when there's no action behind it. So you can say I'm sorry all you want, but you still have to pay retribution, or there is no justice. Okay. Derek, garbage mid. Okay. Wilmer, so what would you think if the U.S. helps Africa with food, water, and shelter? The U.S. should help Africa with food, water, and shelter because, unfortunately, a lot of these colonizing countries owe a huge debt to Africa, and they are the reason why they are considered first world, is because of the ravaging of Africa. So to say that they can help is the least that they can do, especially having a whole remnant of Africa's people over here against their will. But anyway, next question. I'd say the same to the hillbilly with a rebel flag thinking the South will rise again. Again, this is all spiritual, so I look at things in a different light. The South will rise again, but it's not going to rise the way that it was before. It's going to rise a whole different way and a whole different color. Mid-South, garbage because you don't agree. No. Okay. Rather reparations for the Irish and Italians. I'm not I don't know. That's for the Irish and the Italians to pursue and to fight for. And that's the same thing I was saying. It's like black people, we were always expected to come to other people's rescue when we're still fighting our own battles. We're still trying to catch our own breath. I'm not sure what the Irish or the Italians should do, and I hope that they get their retribution. I hope everybody gets their retribution, but let us put our own gas mask on first and oxygen mask on first. Stop asking us about everybody else. Can we just first like catch our breath? Can we be retributed for 400 years here, building a country that other immigrants come into and benefit off of our backs? Okay, and then we get told, oh, you're just being greedy and you're just always asking for handouts. Okay, yeah, it's just gaslighting to the 100th degree. um all right, black people are the original people here. I agree. Yes, a lot of us are actually Native American. I'm going to do a video about the physical features of some of the Native Americans. They're very dark people, copper colored people, and yeah. Anyway, lots and lots of oral history of Native American blood, in a lot of us, in a lot of our families. So yes, you are correct. And a lot of Native Americans were labeled as Negro for a reason. Yeah, we need to separate and build our own reality. That's happening already, Derek. Slowly but surely. And that's where I was reading that list before, when I was talking about the fact that a lot of us are becoming more and more educated. A lot more of us are pursuing and building our own farms, where the money movement and investment is getting bigger and bigger. We're relocating. We're rethinking this capitalistic society. We're bearing arms. A few years ago, when I went to get my open carry, there were so many there were only black people in there, to be honest with you, at the shooting range. So it was right after the George Floyd. So that was a huge shift in itself, because we weren't really a huge gun toting people. But even that shift changed. We're looking more and more into just basic living, and returning to farming, returning to just natural sources of healing, and all of that stuff. We're returning. And that's why I brought up the word Sankofa, because Sankofa means to return and go and get it. It's just that we forgot it. It's not that we've never had it. We just forgot it. We forgot who we were. We forgot how to do things naturally, go to the earth for things. And we're returning to that. And we're going back to get it, to reclaim what is ours, to retrieve what is ours. And the logo and the image of the Sankofa it's a bird, and it's turned backwards, and it's picking up a piece of gold or a morsel of food off of its back. That means that you have what you need already to feed yourself. What we need is already in us. It's just that we got to start thinking and remembering that it is. We already got it. We already got what we need. It's here. We just got to reclaim it, like Sankofa, the image of Sankofa. That's it. It's our. You damn right it is. You damn right it is. And we've been taught to think that we're the minority when we're not. We're not the minority. We're the majority. And that's what brainwashing does. Derek, I want to thank you, brother, for coming on the live. I love like-minded people. I like people that are on the same spiritual path and understanding, because we're the people that's going to move this thing forward even faster. I want to thank you for joining the live, and commenting with some good, sensible commentary. All right. I appreciate you. I really, really do. All right. So I want to thank you all for joining the live. I'm going to end this now if you don't have any more questions, comments, or concerns. And yeah, I'm a huge advocate for our people. I'm a huge advocate for women. I'm a huge advocate for black women. I'm a huge advocate for black men. I'm a huge advocate for our black children, our black babies, because they're the future. And for anybody telling us, oh, you're still digging in the past, that's the past, the past, the past, nah. The past is the future. The past is the present. The present will soon be the past. So the past matters. What you're doing right now is going to matter, because one day it's going to be the past. So you all be blessed. Thank you again. Hi, Derek, and you be blessed. Okay. Bye-bye.